So in last session, what we discussed about servers, server architecture, right? Yeah. Today we are going to discuss about networks. What is networking? So types of networks, right? So currently, which networks we are using? Previously, yeah, in traditional data centers, what are the types of networks we used, right? So what are the protocols we used? What is protocol? What is IP address? Subnet mask, gateway, right? So these are all we are going to discuss today. So these are very important for cloud engineer, right? So when we switch to project, when we join into the project, right? So if you get a chance to work on cloud AWS platform, so these networking concepts are very important. So if you understand this traditional networking, you can easily understand cloud networking, right? So that is why. So first we can understand the basics of networking. Okay, what are the things available? So that you will get a better idea. So when we switch to cloud services, you can easily understand. Fine. So in AWS we have networking service which is VPC, right? Virtual Private Cloud. So if you understand these basics, you can easily understand VPC in AWS. Fine? Yeah. Yeah. Up to here we have covered already. So operating systems, server architecture, right? Yeah. So we start from networking. What is networking? Anyone? Network and ఏంటి? What is network? Anyone having idea? Networking and ఏంటి? What is networking? Anyone? Can anyone? So real time guys. Networking. Yeah. It's a communication between servers, communication between devices which are available in the data center, right? Say communication between devices. See here, a computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources, right? Yeah, see here. So these are the desktops or laptops we can use. We can connect through RJ45 cable, which is a very popular cable, a networking cable. So by using RJ45 cable, we can say category 5 cable. We can connect our systems to switches, routers to share the resources, to share the information. So what are the characteristics of networking? What are the characteristics of computer network? So here, share resources from one computer to another and create files and store them in one computer. So access those files from other computers connected over the network, right? Yeah. So when we have networking, what are the advantages here? So these characteristics are very, very important. So when we have networking, what are the advantages? For example, so we have schools, hospitals, right? So when we are using systems in schools or hospitals, right? For example, school 5 floors are there. So we require printer, right? So if you want to configure printer, we need to configure 5 printers in 5 floors, right? So instead of configuring 5 printers in 5 floors, what we will do, we can configure one printer, which we can configure as networking printer, right? So through network, we can print the documents, right? So when we print a document, so through network, the request will go. Due to that, what will happen? Costing will be reduced. Okay. So when we use networking, costing will be reduced, right? So that is why this networking is very, yeah. So LAN network or WAN network, these are very popular. Currently, we are using Wi-Fi. Everywhere we are using Wi-Fi, right? Yeah. So before that, we used to use LAN connectivity or WAN connectivity, communicate to connect our resources to share the resources in central location. Fine. Yeah. So connect a printer or scanner or fax machine to one computer within the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network, right? So we can connect a printer, scanner, or fax machine. Yeah, so through network we can configure that device and we can use them. We can send the request through network. Yeah, so just to make a note of it, today also theoretical part. So from tomorrow onwards, practical sessions will be there, right? So tomorrow onwards, slowly we'll enter into cloud platform. So tomorrow onwards, make sure everyone should, yeah, make it ready for your laptop and internet connectivity. So you required internet connectivity laptop. No need to install any packages in your laptop. So you required one laptop, internet connectivity. So daily basis you need to practice. Everyone should practice daily basis. If you miss the practice, you will be confused. Okay. So daily basis, everyone should practice. Today only theoretical part. From tomorrow onwards, so we'll go through. We'll connect cloud platform, how to create AWS account, how to connect account, how to create resources, how can we perform the activities in real-time projects. So what are the challenges we get daily basis? What are the issues we'll get? What are the tickets we'll get? Same issues, same challenges we discuss in our sessions. Okay, so all our whatever issues, challenges, day-to-day activities we discuss, we have in real time, same activities will perform in our test lab also, right? Yeah, so once complete our course you'll get very good hands on, right? Yeah, so daily practical sessions will be there, right? So these are introductions only. Still we are going through introductions only, right? Yeah, so tomorrow onwards everyone should use, everyone should make it ready your laptop. So because practice is most important. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, hardware devices required to set up computer network. So network cables, distributors, routers, internal network cards, and external network cards. These are the devices required to configure computer network, right? Let us go through one by one. So first one, network cables. So network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is category 5 cable, which is RJ45. So when we buy a router, along with the router, we get one cable, which is RJ45 cable, right? Category 5 cable. See here, this is the RJ45 cable. So here we have, yeah, clamps are there. In this clamps, we use color coding, right? So by using these cables, we can connect our, yeah, we can connect our laptop to servers, switches, routers through cable, right? These are all traditional devices. So distributors, what is distributor? So a computer can be connected to another via another one via serial port. But if you need to connect many computers to produce a network, the serial connection will not work. So basically, this distributors will work. This distributors work as a loopback adapter, switch to switch, router to router. So we require one serial port. By using this, we can communicate from one switch to other switch, one router to other router. See here, this is the distributor. Next one is router. What is router? So a router is a type of device which act as the central point among computers and other devices that are a part of the network. So it is equipped with holes called ports. Computers and other devices are connect to a router using network cables. Nowadays, routers comes in wireless modes using which computers can be connected without any physical cable, right? So normally in real-time projects, right? So when we move to capped area, when we move to breakout area, we can use laptop because Wi-Fi. We use Wi-Fi, right? Everywhere within the office premises, we can connect our network using wireless network, right? Like routers. So here, this is a router. Normally, we use this router in our home also, right? Yeah. So network card. So different cards are there. Network card is a necessary component of computer without which a computer cannot be connected over a network. It is also known as the network adapter or network interface card. So most branded computers have network card pre-installed. Network cards are two types: internal and external network cards, right? See here, internal network cards. Can you mute everyone? Yeah. So motherboard has a slot for internal network card where it is to be inserted. So internal network cards are two types, in which the first you type of yeah, peripheral component interconnect PCI card we use, while the second type uses industry standard architecture ISA card. PCI ISA, these are bit older network cards. So we used to use desktops, right? In that motherboard will have one PCI slot. In that slot we insert network card, and we used to install drivers so that network card starts working, right? Like we can communicate through network card, we can communicate through network cables, right? You can connect servers, switches, routers, right? Yeah. So these are traditional devices. See here, this is the internal network card. This card we can insert in motherboard, right? Desktop motherboard. So here we can connect our network cable to share the data, to share the resources. External network cards. So here, external network cards are two types: wireless and USB based network cards. Wireless network cards need to be installed into the motherboard. So, however, no network cable is required to connect to the network. So here, so this black one is wireless card. This black one is wireless card. So this we can connect to the network card so that we can communicate through this wireless card. So also we used to use USB. So still people are using USB network cards, USB devices, right? Yeah. So what are the important types of computer networks? This is very important. So important types of networks. So we have four types of networks, which are like PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN. What is PAN? What is LAN? What is MAN? What is WAN? So we'll try to understand. So PAN stands for Personal Area Network. Personal Area Network. So PAN is a computer network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile or personal digital assistant. PAN can be used for establishing communication among these personal devices for connecting to a digital network and the internet. See here, this is the PAN network. So normally, so while working on our laptop or desktop, what we will do, we enable Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth mic, Bluetooth printer, Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, etc. Right? So this will work around the person only, right? So within the floor, within the room, it will work. If you move more than 10 minutes, 10 meters, like for example, so I'm moving with my laptop or headset to the other floor, it will not work, right? So there is a distance limitation here, right? So PAN networks within the room or within the floor, it will work. Okay. Next one, yeah. So characteristics of PAN. So it mostly personal devices network equipped within a limited area allows you to handle the interconnection of IT devices at the surrounding of a single user. PAN includes mobile devices, tablet, and laptop. Advantages of PAN. PAN networks are relatively secure. It offers only short-range solution up to 10 meters, strictly restricted to a small area. Within the 10 meters, this will work. Disadvantages of PAN. What are the disadvantages? So distance limits, right? So within 10 meters only it will work. If you move to other floor, other room, it will not work, right? So next one is a LAN. What is LAN? It's a local area network. It is a It is a group of network devices that allow communication between various connected devices. It covers the smallest areas such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. See here, this is the LAN connectivity, right? We can connect our desktops or laptops through cable. We can connect to the switch so that we can share the resources. We can share the data. Fine. Yeah. What are the characteristics here? It is a private network. So when we use LAN network, it is completely private, our own network, right? LAN operates at a relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems. For example, when we buy any router, right? So if you check the speed of your Wi-Fi and cable, so along with the router, we get one cable, right? If you connect that cable, the speed will be increased. If you use Wi-Fi, that is also faster. But compared to cable, right? So Wi-Fi is bit slow, right? See here, LAN operates at the relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems, right? It is completely private network. So what are the advantages here? Computer resources like hard disk, DVD RAM, and printers can share local area networks, thus significantly reduce the cost of hardware purchases, right? So when we use any external drives or any printers or any other devices, we can configure as network devices, right? So that costing will be reduced here. Data of all network users can be stored on a single hard disk of the server computer. Normally, in real-time projects, for example, if you take school or hospital, what they will do? So everywhere, everyone connect data from server through LAN connectivity. So the data will be stored in central location. So for example, if you take hospital, from OP we get the data, patient data. From yeah, any floor, right? From not only OP, from anywhere in the within the hospital, we get the information, the patient information, because the data will be stored in central location in the server. Server is server is normally configured in server room, right? So in that server room, whatever device servers we configured, in that only data will be stored. So everyone can access the data, right? So whatever changes happen, those will be happened in server level, not in desktop or laptop level, right? So it will be easy to manage data at only one place, so which makes the data more secure. So when we use central location data, which will be more secure, right? Disadvantages of LAN. What are the disadvantages here? So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repositories. So normally, if like five years back, 10 years back, LAN admins, right? Like local area network administrators, they used to maintain the LAN connectivity, LAN systems, right? See, if the person is not capable, definitely hackers will enter, right? That is why LAN admin should be, so you need to have some technical skills, right? So that you can secure the network. Otherwise, so data will be lost. Fine. Yeah. What is man? Can you come again? Someone asking some question here. So if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can ask, or else otherwise you can mute yourself. Recording will be disturbed, right? Yeah. What is MAN? It's a metropolitan area network, right? It covers the largest area than land, such as small towns, cities, etc. MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities. Okay, metropolitan area network. See here, schools, hospitals, colleges, factories. So within the city or different cities, we can connect. What are the characteristics? It mostly covers towns and cities in a minimum 50 kilometers range. Most used medium is optical fiber cables. Normally, uh, these optical cables are very higher speed cables. Okay, yeah. So when Geo network launches, by the time they cut the road, they install the cables, middle of the road, right? Those are fiber cables. Those are very faster, right? Yeah. Advantage of man. It offers fast communication using higher speed carriers like fiber optic cables. It provides excellent support for an extensive size network and greater access to WANs. A MAN network mostly includes some areas of city or an entire city, right? Within the city or yeah, so different cities. Disadvantages of MAN. Yeah, you need more cables to establish MAN connection from one place to another. In MAN network, it is thought to make the system secure from hackers because distance limited. There is no distance limitation, right? So long distance. So that is why hackers will enter. So we need skilled technicians to secure the network here. WAN connectivity, wide area network. So it covers a large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country, continent, etc. WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one nation. So this is very costlier, right? That is why, so group of companies, they establish the connectivity through satellite communication, because country to country, continent to continent. So what are the characteristics? Any organization can form its global integrated network using WAN. Disadvantage of WAN. So WAN helps you to cover a larger geographical area. Therefore, business offices situated at longer distance can easily communicate. So WAN communications, yeah, WAN connections work using radio transmitters and receivers built into client devices, right? So normally, so in WAN systems, we use radio transmitters and yeah, receivers to communicate the to establish the communication. Disadvantages: the initial setup cost of investment is very high, because this is country to country, continent to continent satellite communication we use. It is difficult to maintain the WAN network. You need skilled technicians and network administrators. There are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and the use of different technologies we configure the WAN connectivity. Right? So here this is the combination of LAN, WAN, and MAN. Okay. So normally in real-time projects, if you want to communicate within the organization, we use LAN, right? And we use MAN also within the city or within the network. So if you want to communicate from country to country, continent to continent, so we use WAN connectivity, wide area network. Any questions up to here? Anyone? Up to here? Any questions? So these are very basic things. This terminology is very important. So if you understand this terminology, you can easily understand cloud terminology. That is why this basics we are going through. Yeah. Next one is what is an IP address? IP address and ఏంటి? What is IP address? Anyone? What is IP? IP stands for Internet Protocol. An IP address is unique address that identifies a device on the internet or a local area network, which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via the internet or local area network. So this IP should be unique. Every device one IP will be there. So either desktop, laptop, server, switch, network, routers, every device will have one IP. That should be unique. Okay. So for example, if I want to check my system IP, okay, I just want to open command prompt. Just type CMD here in the search bar. If you type here IP config, you will get your IP address. This should be unique address. Every laptop or desktop, every system will have unique IP address. So if you want to check IP address in Windows, IP config. So if you want to check the IP address in Linux, what is the command here? If config, right? IP config, if config. Okay. Yeah. So types of IP addresses. How many types of IP addresses will be there? Okay. First one is, yeah, there are various classifications of IP addresses, and each category further contains some types. First one, private IP addresses. So every server or system, how many IPs will be there? Laptop or desktop or server, how many IPs will be there? Only one IP, which is network IP. Server side, another IP will be there, which is a rack, ID rack IP, console IP, we can say, right? Yeah. So here types of IPs, private IP addresses and public IP addresses, right? So what is private IP? What is public IP? So normal servers, physical servers or virtual servers or desktops or laptops, we use only one IP, which is network IP. But cloud side, there will be two IPs, which are private IP address and public IP address. Okay. So normally, yeah, so let us go inside of this. Okay. So in public IP, there will be two types of IPs again. So here, dynamic IP address and also static IP address. So here, private IP, public IP. Okay. So private IP normally in real-time projects in cloud servers, cloud systems, every server will have private and public. To connect our cloud server, we use public IP. Once you log in into the server, we use private IP. That we will discuss from tomorrow onwards. Okay. So cloud servers will have two IPs. One is public, another one is private. To connect our cloud server, we use public IP. Once you log in into the server, we use private IP. Okay. Yeah. In public IP, again two types of IPs are there, which are like dynamic IP address and also static IP. What is dynamic IP? Anyone? Anyone? Real time guys. What is dynamic IP?
The one that keeps
Anyone?
changing.
Okay. Keep changing. Fine. Yeah. So dynamic IP, what is dynamic IP? So dynamic IP is a IP. Dynamically, it will change every time when you start your server, right? So for example, I'm using cloud server, AWS server, right? So when I stop the server, whatever dynamic IP, whatever IP assigned to the server, that will be taken back by one DHCP server. So backend there will be a DHCP server in data center that will take back that IP. Again, when I start the server, it will give a new IP, which is nothing but dynamic IP. It will change dynamically every time when you start your server. Okay. So next one, static IP. So static IP is the IP which never change until you terminate your server, until you delete your server. This is permanent IP. Static IP is a permanent IP. Dynamic IP is a dynamically changed every time. Okay. So along with this, one more IP will be there in cloud, which is a elastic IP that we will discuss once we enter into the cloud. Okay. So public IP, private IP, dynamic IP, static IP, elastic IP also there. We'll discuss that. Okay. Next one is what is subnet? What is subnet? Anyone? What is subnet?
Under VPC, we create subnet.
Right. Right. Yes. Fine. Subnet is nothing but it is a sub network. Subnet is nothing but it is a sub network, small network instead of a large network. Small network instead of a large network, right? Yeah, why we require subnets? So subnets ఎందుకండి? Why we require subnets? Anyone?
To create servers under one subnet, we create set of servers for VPC peering and all.
Right, right. Fine. So subnet is a sub network, small network inside of a large network. Why we require subnets, right? So to control inbound and outbound traffic, we use the subnet, right? So for example, we have 100 development servers, 100 testing servers, 100 production servers, right? So three set of servers are there, three environments are there. So if you configure in one subnet all the servers, what will happen? They can communicate each other, right? But in production servers, I have databases. I don't want to allow inbound traffic to the database servers. If I allow inbound traffic, there may be chances to leak the data. That is why. So I don't want to allow inbound traffic to the database servers, right? So that what I will do, I create sub networks, small networks. For example, this is the floor, right? In this floor, we have different rooms, right? So if you don't have the floor, if you don't have the rooms here within the floor, what will happen? One class is going there, office staff is here, one class is going here, right? What will happen if you don't have the rooms? Disturbance will be happen, noise will be happen. So we customize this. This is our own space to control the noise. Same way, Subnets also, when we configure subnets, okay, so we can control the inbound and outbound traffic, fine, by using this subnets. A subnet or subnetwork is a smaller network inside of a larger network. Instead of a large network within the data center, we can create our own space, own network, right? See here, these are all small networks. These are all small networks. So every subnet will have one range, IP range, their own range. See here, 200.200.10.48/29, 200.200.10.56/29. So like this, different ranges are there. So what is this slash 29? What is this slash 28? Right? Let's try to understand. See here, this is also 25, right? Why they gave like this slash 25, 29, 28, right? Let's try to understand. Subnet ranges. Take like this. See here. These are all subnet ranges. Slash 32, 255.255.255.255 slash 32. So in this range, I can accommodate only one IP address. One system I can connect. So we have 29, 28, 25, right? See here. So if I take slash 29, I can accommodate 8 IP addresses. 8 systems I can connect. Okay. And 28 slash 28, I can connect 16 systems, 16 IP addresses. If you take 25 slash 25, 128 IP addresses we can accommodate. 128 systems you can connect in the network, right? Yeah. So here 24 also there, popular one, 256 IP addresses, 20 also there, 4096, 16 also there. See here. These are popular. 16, 20, 24. These are very popular. So in 16 slash 16, 65,536 IPs we can accommodate here, right? So here, if you check here something, number of IP addresses and usable IP addresses. Two types of the IPs are there, right? So we can accommodate this many IPs, but usable IPs are this one only. For example, if you take slash 25, so 128 IPs available here in the range, but we can use 126 only. What about other two IPs? Those two IPs are, we can say, broadcast address, broadcast IPs, broadcasting. Okay. Yeah. So these are the different ranges. While working on VPC, we'll go deep dive. Okay, these ranges will go deep dive. We can create our own ranges, our custom ranges. How can we accommodate the ranges? How can we connect the servers within the ranges? We'll try to understand while working on VPC. Okay. So these are very basics. Okay. Yeah. So what is the network switch? What is network switch? See here. A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together, right? So multiple data cables are plugged into a switch to enable communication between different networked devices. See here. So this is the traditional switch. Normally we can connect our systems through LAN cable, and we can plug it into the switch to share the resources to access the data from remote servers. Okay. Next one, what is gateway? Gateways. What is gateway? See here. For example, this is my network, one network, this is another network. So I have two networks are there. This is one network, this is another network. So if I want to communicate from one network to other network, I require gateway. So this network range is different. This network range is different, right? For example, if you want to communicate one building to other building, we require some gate, right? We require some door, because this is separate network, this is separate network. So how can we differentiate this? By using custom IP addresses, right? So here 10.0.0.0/8, 20.0.0.0.0/8, two different ranges, two different addresses. So when we have two different ranges, these both networks cannot communicate each other, right? So here 10.0.0.0, in which first two octets are network ID, second two octets are host ID. So network ID is completely changed, 10, 20. That is why these two networks cannot communicate. Two systems, they cannot communicate. That is why we required some gateway. The traffic should be route, right? So here we use the gateways to communicate one from one network to other network, right? Next one, what is firewall? What is firewall? Anyone, what is firewall?
It's like a barricade, like
Firewall, can you come again? Okay, your voice is breaking. Okay, anyways, yeah, firewall is a network security device. Firewall is a network security device to control the traffic. We use the firewalls in network, right? See here,
Ma,
firewalls
these
are
are
network.
Ma, these are Eva.
Arvind, can you mute yourself? Arvind, can you mute yourself? Arvind, can you mute? So because some noise is coming here, recording will be disturbed. Right. Yeah. So firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming and outgoing traffic within the network. Right. So by using firewalls, we can filter the traffic. Right. So yeah, unauthorized access can be controlled by using firewalls. If any unauthorized requests are coming in, so firewalls will be blocked, right? Those requests will be blocked by firewalls. See here. So it is a good traffic. So normally, if you want to connect your office network, how can we connect? Through internet. Through internet, we can connect to firewall like VPN. Through internet, we can connect to VPN. So internet is the most vulnerable network, dangerous network, right? So that is why always we use the firewalls to control the traffic, right? Yeah. So this is the bad traffic. So this is good traffic. This is bad traffic. So if you want to connect your network, right? So through firewall we need to connect, right? So if the traffic is good traffic, it will allow. If the traffic is bad traffic, it will not allow, right? So based on the firewall rules, it will allow deny the traffic, right? Yeah. Next one is what is replication and failover and load balancer. Replication and ఏంటండి? Anyone? What is replication? Replication. Anyone? It's a duplication, right? We can duplicate the data from one zone to other zone, one region to other region. Why we need to duplicate? If any one zone is down, our data will not be lost. Other zone will take care of, right? Yeah. So what is failover? I will discuss that. We'll see that. See here. So replication is a technology for copying and distributing the data and database objects from one database to another, and then synchronizing between databases to maintain consistency and integrity of the data. In most cases, replication is a process of reproducing the data at the desired targets. See here. Yeah. So here we have primary region and secondary region. So whatever data is yeah, available on primary region, that should be replicated to secondary region, right? So user is connecting to the primary region. If the primary region is down, what will happen? It will fail over to second region. So this user, he can automatically switch to the second region. So yeah, application will not be down. For example, one application is one user is accessing one application, some application, web application, but one zone is down, one region is down. The application will not be down. That will be accessible through network from other zone, other region, right? Yeah. What is a load balancer? Anyone? Load balancer. So normally we configure clusters. Clustering concept we discussed in AWS. Okay. What is cluster? Anyone? What is cluster? Anyone having idea? Cluster. Cluster is a group of
Group of servers.
servers, group of devices, right? So why we require cluster? To balance the load and the fault tolerance. Load balancing, fault tolerance. What is load balancing? For example, we configured one application in a cluster. In the cluster, we have 5 servers are there. One server is down, application will not be down. Whatever requests are coming in, those will be shared to other servers, right? And fault tolerance. What is fault tolerance? Load balancing means load will be balanced on other servers. Fault tolerant means application will not be down anywhere. So let us say, for example, we are 10 team members. 10 members are there, team members. Within the team, in one project, we are working 10 members. In 10 members, 5 members are, yeah, 5 members went on leave. Only 5 members are there. But everyone getting 30 requests per day, 30 tickets. What will happen if the 5 people are went on leave? What will happen? The load will be balanced to other people. Load will be shared to other people, right? Yeah. So in 5 members, 2 more members are in sick leave. What will happen? It will be overloaded, right? Yeah. So to control that, normally we configure clusters, right? Cluster is nothing but a group of servers, group of devices. Um, what is the use of cluster? Load balancing, fault tolerance, right? This is interview question. Cluster, cluster. What is the cluster? Use of cluster, right? So in AWS we create clusters. We have auto scaling concept is there, and load balancing concept is there. So there we configure clusters. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Why Linux? Why Linux? Why the project teams are looking for Linux environment in real-time projects, right? So normally, most of the organizations they are using backend server side they are using Linux only. Desktop side, desktops, laptops they are using Windows, right? So why they are using Linux? What are the difference here? What are the advantages here? Linux is command line first of all. So when we talk about command line, it is more secure. So licensing costing is very less, right? Yeah. So when you compare with Linux, Linux is more secure, right? If any threats releases, virus releases, so directly attack to the Windows first, but Linux will not be affected. Okay. And also no slowdown issues here, no crashes, no costly repairs in Linux. These are all advantages. Okay. Yeah, let us go one by one here. See here. First one, free and open source, secure distributions. So many distributions are available. So many flavors available in Linux. Okay. Fast performance, right? So Linux is very faster because of command line. When you compare with Windows, Linux is very faster, right? So many distributions secure. Yeah. So every customer, when they want to opt any cloud environments or when they want to opt any cloud services, very first thing security. Security is the most important. Security and availability. These two are very important things, right? So here Linux is having more secure, right? No viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs, right? So Linux, for example, Linux service crash within 5 minutes you can bring back to original state, right? So Linux is giving very good support to maintain your servers. No crashes. So 99% servers will not be crash. Okay, but Windows will crash sometime. No slowdowns. Servers will not be slowed down. Linux servers, right? So normally, why the servers will be slowed down? Anyone having idea? For example, if you take Windows server, so if the C drive is full, definitely server will get impacted, right? Windows servers will get slowdown issues if the C drive is full. And also, every month we install some patches. Microsoft releases the patches, right? So that patches we have to install every month. Otherwise, it will not work Windows servers. But here in Linux, so yeah, in Windows, once install the patch, make sure that server should be restarted, right? So without restart, server will not work properly. But Linux side not like that, right? So without reboots also server will work well without any issues. So in our project, we are using Linux servers. Last 5 years we haven't reboot Linux servers. Client is not accepting to reboot servers because if you reboot server, if anything goes wrong, application will be gone. That is why client is not accepting. Still they are working well. So last 5 years Linux servers we haven't reboot. But if you don't reboot Windows servers, those will not work well. Okay. Yeah. So even though Linux servers, if the C drive is full, nothing will be happen, right? But Windows servers, the C drive is full, it will not work well. So for example, if you, yeah, we are using laptop, right? In laptop, if the C drive is full, what will happen? You get slowdown issues. Same way, server side also. But Linux side, nothing will be happen, no issues, right?
If memory is full, Linux has no issue.
Sorry,
In Linux server, if memory is full,
C drive.
slowness, right? Only C drive.
If hard drive is full, server will not have any issues. Server will work well without any issues. But Windows side, it will not work properly. Yeah, these are the all advantages of Linux. That is why most of the project teams backend they are using Linux only. Desktops, servers, desktops and laptops they are using Windows. Server side they are using Linux because of these are the advantages, right? So any questions up to here, anyone? So we require Linux, right? After few sessions, we will be having Linux sessions. Okay, Linux 3 to 4 sessions will be there. In that, Linux basics will be covered. Okay, so those are enough to you to maintain your cloud servers, right? We are not Linux admins. We don't require full Linux ports, right? So we are cloud engineers. That is why whatever we required, that we can discuss in our sessions. Okay. Yeah. Up to here, any questions, anyone? So these are the things available here. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, slowly we'll enter into cloud, right? So up to here, these are all basics. Okay. So tomorrow onwards, how to create AWS account, how to connect AWS account, what are the services available? We'll walk through the console. After that, slowly we'll enter into the services, we create servers, network, storage, right? Different resources we can create and we can work on, right? So in real-time projects, what are the challenges we face? Same challenges we work on here. Okay. Yeah. So real-time console, test lab, there is no difference. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, link will be changed. Yeah. If anyone, yeah. So already group is created here. So most of the people join into the group, added into the group. If you are not added, you can make the fee today itself and you can add. Otherwise, tomorrow onwards, yeah. So our people will not be, they will not allow to connect the meeting, right? So if you are interested, you can make the fee and you can share the screenshot so that I'll add into group, WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group already created. So nearly 25 people joined the group. Fine. Any more questions, anyone? Anything you want to discuss? Anyone newly joined today? Can you share your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat? so that will provide you recordings, previous recordings. So if you, yeah, so my number, I can share my number 96422111711. You can take down my number. If you have any questions, if you want to talk to me, you can reach out to me on this number. This is my personal number. Yeah. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start working on cloud. Slowly we'll enter into cloud. So what are the services available? What are the regions, data centers available? Yeah. So what are the resources available? How to create resources? How can we configure resources? We'll try to understand. Fine. Yeah. So we can stop here.